Coach, what can you what can you share with us about Saturday scrimmage? Just how it went.
I thought there were some really good things. We had a number of injuries defensively, so we gave some explosive plays, which obviously, whenever one side does good, it's an issue with the other side. So I thought that the speed of the offense was good and the mechanics with it. So, but again, we played without a few significant defensive players.
Got to ask you the quarterbacks, just where they're at right now.
I know it sounds the same. They're very close. I feel like every day you could go out there and say one and then the next day say the other. So it's be a tough call, which is a good thing.
Coach, we're getting Taiwan Malone in here today. So give us some thoughts on him.
Yeah, it's just really cool. For someone to be a 2.2 sport player. On that note, congratulations to Plumlee. I saw this morning of winning the quarterback job there. 2 sport players, but you usually don't have a big one, of this size, defensive lineman. So there's good and bad to everything. The bad part is, you got to work yourself back in, because you missed some time. So he's doing a great job.
When you're getting a look at some of these second and third string guys on defense with the starters hurt, is anybody standing out to you, or is it kind of a struggle developing that depth there?
I mean, there's a lot of guys, so I don't really know singling them out, but, we need our backup defensive players to play, so we don't have to play our frontline guys as much as we did a year ago, and to develop so we can play better special teams.
And maybe internally, y'all have a clock or a timeline you'd like to make that call. But when you say one guy kind of jumps ahead to the next day, another guy, I mean, it's frustrating, may not be the right word, but how is that when y'all feel like, all right, maybe one's taking a lead, but then you're back to 50-50?
I don't know. I mean, I answer these every day from Knox. He FaceTimes me every day. What's going on to quarterback? So I feel like I've practiced at this. And then he says, well, you really know, so just tell me. I really don't know. So again, you could be frustrated, or you can glass half empty, glass half full, or you can say, you know what, if there was a big difference, then probably one of them wasn't doing very well. So I look at it as both are doing well and creating a hard situation, which is a good thing to have.
Along those lines, do you start to contemplate going into the season playing 2 as, like, for lack of a better word, co-starters?
No, not yet. We still got a ways to go, and we'll cross that bridge if that happens.
Hey, Lane, your first 2 years here, you had receivers who really had more targets, more catches, Elijah, than Dontario last year. Is that a preference in the way you want to run the offense, or is that just the way it worked out with chemistry?
I mean, it's been different in different places, but when we have a unique player that, no disrespect to the other guys, is above the other guys around, like you've heard me say, it's not like T-ball. Everybody doesn't, get to bat around the order. So, our job's to win games and get the ball to the best players. And I think Drummond's was an example of some injuries too, because I wouldn't have predicted that at the beginning of the year, with Mingo and Braylon, but then both guys were hurt for a lot of the year. So I probably could have predicted that more with Elijah. And when it's a slot doing it, makes it a lot easier to get him the ball on, some run type stuff.
What is your receiver competition looking like right now? Can you predict that sort of thing?
It's been really good. It's deeper than it's been. I would bet we already knew at this time in the last 2 years who were the guys and what exactly was the order. The wild card is, Flash has been hurt for a while, so he hasn't been doing much at all. So that's hard when you have a new player who hasn't been there, that you saw for a little bit and have some ideas of what you do with him, and then he's not out there. So that's kind of the wild card and thing. JJ Henry's done awesome. I joke with Flash the other day in the training room. asked him if he had a redshirt year. And he's like, yeah, why? I'm like, I mean, you're sitting here longer. You might want to use your redshirt year the way that JJ's playing. So I think that motivated him because he came out for a little bit today. So.
Coach, is this the deepest team across the board you've had since you've been here?
Yeah, but that's not really saying much. We haven't been deep the last 2 years. We just had really good frontline players. So really, if you look at it at most spots, we always wanted to rotate more, especially receivers and defensively, and we didn't because of depth issues. So at most positions, we are a little deeper than we have been, and a big part of that's the portal. I mean, we looked yesterday at the roster, just in the right side of it. The depth chart happened to be like the signing class and all the portal guys at the bottom, like whatever it was, 14 through 29 or something like that. I mean, this is a very different team without that.
Coach, what players specifically caught your eye on Saturday's scrimmage?
I don't remember. I mean, we just practiced Monday, so that's a long time ago. I really don't know specifically. Remember that we've already had walkthroughs and other practice, everything. So, sorry.
What have you seen out of Dayton Wade? Just kind of what does he bring to the table in terms of just the numbers you have?
Yeah, really good. Much like Pearson last year. Like kind of a surprise of a walk-on kid that has come here and done really well and earned the right to play. So those are always added bonuses because they're not things you're counting on, and all of a sudden they create depth, which is great.